revision. So you can see na merong topic and then merong intended learning outcomes and then of course kung ano yung expected na output from you. So it starts with the introduction, etc., etc., and the different parts of the research paper. So actually, yung product ninyo this semester will be up to uh, chapter 3. That would be your, of course, review related literature, introduction, and of course, title, and of course, methodology. So for this semester, you should be able to know how to do all those three. Okay, prior to the second semester which will be the experimental uh, process. So sobrang vague nito kasi so I mean I made an outline of this because para mas makita natin. And of course, our schedule is very difficult to ma-handle because magkakaiba tayo ng duty, ganyan. So, hopefully, we can meet, if not everyone, is Saturday afternoon so that we will be available. Si Dean then available. So, ito. So, I made a course outline for this, and this will be the expected topics for the following weeks. So, of course, this is uh, tentative and it can be changed along the way. So for today is we will be discussing introduction to research. I will be doing that. And then later on, Dean will be discussing the research problems and hypotheses. So the key learning outcomes will be on the right side. So, and of course, today we will also be dividing you into groups.
So next week, sir, magta-title defense sila.
Yes. So nakalagay dito is title, proposal, slash defense. And of course, you have to present them per group. And of course, the objective also. So we have to do it little by little, step by step.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Sir Dennis, I've sent you the components for of the title defense
okay po.
sa messenger mo po. Thank you.
Okay. Ayun. All the questions na nasa isip nyo ngayon prior to the topic, choosing the topic, and formulating the title will be answered para naman matulungan kayo in terms of proposal next week or defense next week. Kasi usually sa title pa lang pinagdidebatehan na yan or pinag-usapan ng maayos. And we need to comment on that because that would be, the deciding factor kung matutupad ba yun or magagawa niya ba yun o hindi. Diba? So, yeah. So, but first is I'm gonna present the introduction to research. This will be just brief discussion of how to, what are the different parts of the research paper and what to conduct. So, according to Good, research is a careful and critical and disciplinary inquiry, varying in technique and method according to the nature and conditions of the problem identified. We learned many times sa classes natin about the scientific method, diba? And this will be applied during the experiment or conducting research. So we should be doing the step-by-step procedure. For example, you have the observation, you ask questions, then you formulate hypothesis, predict, and then conduct experiment, and then analyze the results and make conclusions. So the product of that will be a research paper, diba? So, and alam natin na the last part is not really conclusion. It's sharing the results of your research. May it be negative results or positive results or meron ka bang na-prove or wala. Because whether it is negative or positive or walang resulta or negative yung resulta based sa hypothesis or prediction, it's still a result and it can help future researchers in their studies. So, yan. So, pinag-isipan siya and of course, it should answer the problem, the questions in the problem. According to Aquino, research is a systematic search for pertinent information or data on specific topic or problem. Again, you have to formulate a specific, based on the observation, specific problem, and then, of course, uh, ask questions, and then finally solve that problem. So, and in to solve that problem, it should be based on certain data, diba? So according to Manuel and Medel, it is the process of gathering data, sabi ko lang data, or information to solve particular or specific problem in a scientific manner. Meaning, we have to use statistics, for example, di ba? Or correlation in order to deduce or to find out what is the result of that specific experiment that can answer the question whether the problem can be solved or not, or the investigation behind that. So, and again, that the product of the research is a research paper that you will be writing. So, it is a systematic study or investigation of something for the purpose of answering the questions posted by the researcher. And it is an attempt to gain solutions to problems. Para-pareho lang mas nasabi na. It is a collection of data in a rigorous controlled situation for the purpose of prediction or explanation. And in short, ito yung nakalagay. It is defined as the a purposive, systematic, and scientific process of gathering, analyzing, organizing, presenting, and interpretation of the data for solution of a problem, for investigation or invention, for discovering the truth, for the expansion and verification of existing knowledge, all for the preservation and improvement of the quality of human life. And as I mentioned in the previous classes, according to the scientific method, we should repeat and repeat this systematic steps in order to gain deeper understanding of our environment or our uh, over yeah environment. So in this case, kailangan talaga na sumunod tayo sa systematic process. Meron tayong basihan para makapag-conclude or para masagot natin yung mga problems. And again, this will be the definition of research. So first and foremost is how to select a research topic. Actually, meron pang isa pang how to select a topic later or how to formulate. But I will be discussing yung mga maybe reasons why or mga basihan niyo or basis of selecting a topic. First is kung ano yung interested kayo, di ba? So, interest, ability to focus your full attention. So, ano ba yung naisip niyo na ever since meron na kayong tanong sa inyong isip or utak na ito kaya yung gusto ko about a certain topic na pinaka-interested ako. Maybe it is hematology or bacteriology or any kind of disease maybe that is related to your field of study, medical technology, di ba? But of course, medical technology has many different uh, subdivisions or subtopics. For example, analysis of urine and body fluids, for example, or to answer some questions related to certain analytes, di ba? So, kailangan yung topic ninyo is interested kayo. Otherwise, parang ang hirap naman na gumawa ng isang research na napipilitan lang kayo or ayaw nyo. Next is, it's your specialization and competence. Doon kayo pinakamagaling. So, familiarity with the methods and research procedure. Ay, nagawa na namin to sa CC and sa Bacti or sa MolBio. So, I'm gonna put some kind of cultivation of microorganism and then finally, molecular biology, mag-extract ng DNA, di ba? Kasi yun yung pinaka-master ko. Magaling ako sa phlebotomy. So, I may be related siya sa blood or mga different blood groups, ganyan. And of course, kailangan yung feasible. So, in terms of financial capacity, baka naman sobrang hirap or sobrang mahal. So, most of the time, kapag sobrang mahal, hindi na namin ina-approve kasi, of course, it costs a lot of money. And it should be easy, but of course, challenging also. And syempre, competent naman kayo. So, it should align also sa inyong competency. So, ito yung tatlo. For the nature of research, significant, important, or relevant to the present time or situation, di ba? So kung meron na kayong previous interest or studies na nabasa, and then you can correlate that to your current research. Maybe upgrade or level up, or maybe investigate further kasi meron siyang research gap, di ba? Usually, nilalagay nyo yun, research gap nito is kulang sa ganito. Hindi siya na-investigahan. Itong part na to is may question pa. So, and it should be significant na magagamit siya ng future researchers or ng mga tao, di ba, na makakabasa ng research ninyo. Ay, pag nabasa to, uh, pwede silang magkaroon ng idea or makatulong sa science. What is your contribution to science? Even yung mga dissertation ng mga previous mga students sa PhD is nasa library. So pag tiningnan nyo, pwede siyang maging basihan ng mga future researchers. So ibig sabihin, dapat importante siya. Data, equipment, and instruments are available. Baka naman sobrang mahal. Meron akong research before na napalitan ng napalitan dahil sobrang hirap. Ang research ko dati is electron beam, effect of the electron beam. Eh pag nagpa-electron beam ka, isang ganun lang, sobrang mahal na. So, hindi siya feasible for a research kasi kailangan ko ng maraming times to use the electron beam and different intensity noon. So, parang ang hirap. Unless otherwise, you have the electron beam equipment, di ba? So, kung meron tayo sa lab, then we can use it. Kung meron sa pharmacy department or sa third party, like different lab, we can use them naman. Pero, kung hindi available sa Philippines, edi wag na lang. And also, mas prioritize natin yung mas nag-exert kayo ng effort, di ba? Sa laboratory, may mga kit tayo na pwede nyo gamitin. And may mga equipment tayo. So, make use of that. Kung lahat ng methodology natin ay third party natin, then sila lang ang papasa. Sila lang ipapasa natin, di ba? Kasi silang gumawa eh. So, dapat at least 80% is kayo yung gumawa. Okay? So, binigay yung effort ninyo. And yung iba na hindi natin kaya, maybe 20%, that would be send out. Okay lang naman yun. And then, of course, the data will be analyzed by us. Baka naman pati data is pina-analyze pa sa third party. Data must be accurate, objective, and verifiable. So, meron kayong basihan and of course, may records kayo, 'di ba? May mga documentation, may pictures, may mga numbers, 'di ba? May mga screenshot, may mga authentication, 'di ba? So, itong mga to, certificate of authenticity, yung mga binili yung mga halaman or mga reagents or mga organisms, kailangan may mga ganon to prove na reliable naman kayo. And of course, we can verify it based sa mga papers, di ba? Nilagay niyo yung references niyo. So we can trace that. Baka naman na-invento lang. Baka naman kayo nagpasimula. So we need a certain published paper na nandoon yung pinalo nyo na methodology or yun yung basis na method nyo. Pwede kasing baguhin nyo a little bit because of the research gap, di ba? But of course, there should be a basis. Otherwise, kung kayo nagpa-umpisa, baka mahirap i-defend, di ba? So, dapat tatanungin ng panel, saan to kinuha ang procedure na to? Di ba? Bakit ganitong number of samples? Bakit ganito yung basihan nyo? Ano yung reference ninyo? Siyempre, kailangan may masagot kayo na verifiable na data or reference from the past. It requires originality. It should be critical and reflective thinking to solve it. Okay. It should be original also, di ba? Siyempre, kung may na-publish na ganun or research in the past, so, ba't yun naman gagayin? Unless may mga research gap na kailangan pang sagutin. So, ito yung general format of the research paper by chapter. So, In this case, this will be part of the manuscript. Kasi merong isa akong ipa-flash later na different parts or format of an article. So, yun naman is kapag ipapublish na yung paper ninyo. For this is abstract, ayan, of course, a table of contents. But along the way, you will learn the different parts and by looking at the different previous manuscripts of the different students from our department. So, chapter 1, may problem and its background. Yan, introduction. Siyempre, nagkakatalo palagi sa conceptual framework kung paano yung format niya, di ba? So, meron kang input, process, output. Usually, input, process, output, and merong mga subtopics doon, di ba? So, statement of the problems, research hypothesis. Usually, maraming mga hypothesis, and you need to know how to formulate a hypothesis. It will be discussed by Dean uh, Bassett later. Significance of the study, di ba? Dito pa lang, dapat naka-align na kayo and naka-focus na kayo. Isa-isa nyo siyang i-enumerate. Scope and delimitation, if it exists, syempre, sasabihin nyo naman, mag-ano naman kayo, ano man tawag doon? Yun, sabihin nyo, ay, hindi po nakasama yung ganito. Unless sobrang hirap or maybe you have some recommendations, di ba? Ito lang po yung scope namin dito sa certain vicinity ng Dasmariñas, Cavite, di ba? And of course, you have to add the definition of terms. Hindi lang para humaba yung manuscript niyo, is to, para magkaroon ng basis yung pagbabasa. Para merong, ito pala is defined as this, hindi ganito. So, para malinaw. So, along the way, we will discuss each of the different factors na to or elements na to. The review of related literature. Merong last time, pagbalik sa akin ng pagtingin na yung nagpapakonsult sa akin, review of related literature, kakaiba. Nag-list lang sila ng mga information, foreign and local, ganyan. Tapos walang unifying concept. So, we will learn how to do this and properly. So, hindi lang tayo lagay ng lagay. But, if you have a certain topic, iikot doon kasi yung mga literature na hahanapin natin. Of course, you have this kind of data bank na download nyo to based doon sa topics. And then, finally, you have to unify it, collect some information. Ano man sinabi nito ni reference na to? Ito naman nag-negate siya. Ito, nilawakan niya yung study niya, etc. So, this will be the review of related literature. And then lastly, hindi, lastly, hindi. For this semester, lastly, is methodology. So, we should finalize the different methods na gagamitin natin. Siyempre, magsisimula siya sa research design, di ba? Ano yung mga materials na gagamitin? Ano yung mga settings, di ba? Temperature, mga control na gagamitin. And, of course, the sampling plan. So, ito yung mga tinatanong ng mga panelists. Yun nga, bakit ganito yung number of samples mo? Di ba? So, dapat, sa methodology pa lang, approve na siya and finalize na siya. Kasi, pagdating nyo ng research 2, gagawin nyo na lang siya. Hindi tayo magpapanibagong methodology pag research 2. Kasi another SEM na naman, di ba? So, dapat, dito pa lang is ma-finalize na natin yung specific na methodology, yung kaya nyo lang gawin, di ba? At ano yung hindi nyo kayang gawin, maybe ipapasend out, ganyan. Ano yung research instruments, just in case na meron kayong descriptive, ganyan, na research. Research procedures and ethics. Kasama na rin dito, yung kung paano nyo, kung ano yung ginawa ninyo sa pag-apply ng ethics and kung paano nyo in-analyze yung data. Ano yung, kasi wala pa naman yung data analysis. Kung ano yung gagamitin yung mga tools, statistical na tools na to analyze your data na nag-gather nyo. So in this case, kailangan may ine-expect kayo na resulta based on certain published papers. For example, ito yung ginawa nila since ginaya mo or doon mo binisis yung methodology mo, then you are expecting certain results. Expect ka na, magpa-positive to or magne-negative to. And based on that, alam mo na yung mga outputs mo. meron akong table na ganito. So, meron akong graph na ganito, na pie chart, na kino-compare ko yung mga different microbial communities, ganyan. So, dapat may ine-expect na kayo na resulta. Okay? And then, finally, syempre, based doon sa resulta na magagather ninyo, na ine-expect ninyo, and doon sa procedures, then meron din kayong ine-expect na gagamitin na tools na statistics. Ito, i-compare ko yung dalawang groups. Or i-compare ko lang tong ano, ano ba lang to. Ganun. So, meron na kayong expected na gagamitin. And of course, ito is based doon sa mga data gathering ninyo. Of course, for the research to continuation will be the results and discussion. So, bawat experiment ay merong resulta, may observation, di ba? So, nagbago yung kulay niya. So, negative, 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 positive, negative. So, ililista nyo. And of course, you have to have a lab notebook. Yung lab notebook ninyo, once na pupunta kayo sa laboratory, susulat niyo yung ginawa, date for that day, experiment na ginawa niyo, kung sino yung gumawa, and yung resulta. Meron kayong observation. Pwede nyo i-drawing, di ba? Or pwede nyo isulat yung mga resulta. So, para pagka binalikan niyo, itong araw na pong to, nakakita ako ng growth. Pero wala pa siyang uh, inhibition. Okay, ito namang araw na to, third day, iba yung gumawa, pero nakalista doon sa notebook, si ganito. Na-observe man niya na ano, 1 mm yung inhibition. Ganyan. So, meron kayong log for that certain day para hindi kayo nawawala sa track. Okay? So, and of course, isusulat niyo rin doon, and then saka niyo siya ililipat sa, for example, sa Excel to analyze it, or sa SPSS, ganun. Or sa third-party statistician nyo, di ba? So, and then lastly is chapter 5, summary, conclusion, and recommendation. So based on the results of your research, meron na kayong na ano, ay tama pala yung reference namin na paper na journal. So ito yung conclusion namin. Pero syempre meron kaming addition. Based on our investigation, ito yung naging resulta. And there will be further studies, di ba? So, we recommend na ito yung gawin nila or gamitin nila ng gantong concentration, di ba? Or gantong organism kasi medyo hindi namin nasakop to eh. So, we will have recommendations. Ililista nyo yun. Maraming marami. And then, of course, merong iba pang parts ng research paper, which is yung references na dapat tumugma sa pag inaano niyo na siya, sinasite. Usually sa mga introduction, review of related literature yan. Nandun yung mga references. Pagdating nyo sa methodology, konti na lang yung reference na babanggatin nyo unless method siya. Pero kung hindi, dapat nandun siya sa review of related literature. Huwag tayong mag-define doon sa methodology. Kasi ano siya kung paano siya ginagawa. And for this semester, proposal to. So that means hindi nyo pa siya nagagawa. Lahat uh, ng tenses ninyo should be in the future. So uh, we will add for example, uh, 5 ml will be added or will be pipetted to this tube. 3 tubes will be collected, ganyan-ganyan, and will be centrifuged, blah, blah, blah. So, hindi pa kayo tapos, baka naman proposal pa lang is past tense na agad. So meron namang pattern yung kapag nakabasa kayo ng mga proposal saka ng totoong final manuscript, di ba? So, ganon yung gagawin ninyo. Okay? So, key elements of the research. Ito na yung mga, although na-define ko na dito yung iba. So, but we will discuss this step by step sa susunod na mga weeks kasi first meeting pa lang naman. So, marami pa tayong weeks. And again, while doing this, we are expecting you to give us your output. Para hindi tayo sabay-sabay. Ng mga nakaraan kasi, pagdating ng dulo, saka pa lang sila nagsusulat ng RRL, di ba? Parang, dapat, nandun na sila sa methodology. So, kapag ka hindi na-establish yung mga nauna, like topic, di ba? Hindi siya na-establish na maayos. Then, magda-double-double ano tayo, review or double na research. Ang hirap naman nun kung paulit-ulit tayong gumagawa. So, step by step siya. First is research problem. Define ko muna. A clearly defined issue or question that the study aims to address. It sets the direction and the purpose. And previously, I told you kung ano ba yung dapat topic natin. Diba? So, magsimula muna tayo sa topic. Again, it is based on your interest or based on the previous study and your capability and your financial capacity. So, that would dito mag-evolve yung problem ninyo. Ano ba yung nakikita yung problem? Ito gusto ko tungkol sa thalassemia, ganyan. Ano bang problem meron to? Okay? Ano ba yung hindi pa nagagawa? Then, review of related literature. Siyempre, i-discuss pa natin yan. Lahat ng mga study related doon, iikot doon, is kailangan nyo idagdag, ilagay, pagsamasamahin, i-unify. Kasi baka naman dagdagdag na kayo nagdagdag, wala naman siyang pinatutungan. There should be a train of thought from here to here. From here to point here. Ano yung gusto nyong palabasin, di ba? So, ano siya, diretso lang siya. Next is you have to make a conceptual framework, input process output nga. So a visual representation of your idea, your train of thought. Ito muna, meron akong tanong dito eh. Tapos ito naman yung sa process natin. Ito yung gagawin ko. Dahil gagawin ko to, ito yung mga different components ng mga procedures ko. So isusulat niyo doon yung mga techniques. And then finally, ano yung expected na output? The research objectives, so specific goals that the study seeks to achieve often aligned with the problem and framework. As long as meron kang mga objectives na gustong patunayan or sagutin, ito yung gagawin. Isusulat mo. Merong mga general objectives and then merong specific objectives later na mas specific or mas detailed siya. So meron kang general, gusto kong i-prove na ito ay patay ng mga antibiotic resistant organisms. And then here, gusto kong patayin yung mga gram positive, gram negative, yun. Or specific type of antibiotic. And then of course, hypothesis, that would be educated guess, testable predictions derived from theory or observation used in quantitative research. So it will be discussed by Dean later. But to give you an overview, alam niyo na naman, di ba, that the hypothesis should come in pairs, di ba, or more. So, not just one. Kasi nga merong alternative and null. So, usually kapag ka walang effect or walang change should be null. And kapag ka merong effect or may kind of major change is alternative. And pwedeng maraming hypothesis, ha? Hindi lang. Kasi minsan meron kang, ito sa branch na to, ito yung nangyari. Merong dalawang guess. Dito naman may dalawang. So, pwede kayong more than one pair of hypothesis sa isang research paper. Then, of course, methodology. Dito na yung set nyo yung different procedures and nakaseparate siya for example, this is growth culture of the organism, di ba? So, paano nyo kinulture yung organism? Isa-set nyo yan. Para kang nagbibigay ng recipe, di ba? Kapag ka merong lulutuin. So, ilalagay yung ganito. Isa-set yung temperature na ganito. So, then, dito naman is how to collect samples. Then, how to read the organisms, how to measure, di ba? How to measure using this equipment. So, separated siya. Since sa-search naman kayo ng mga different papers or research papers or mga references, then makikita nyo rin yung kung paano sila gumawa ng methodology. Okay, for the data collection, systematic gathering of information using tools like surveys for descriptive or pwede rin naman may mga survey din sa umpisa, mga preliminary, mga experiments ninyo. Interviews, experiments, or diagnostics. So again, you have to, if you are referring to a certain insert, ganyan, or certain third party na may salisang procedure, you have to cite the procedures that na kinuha mo sa kanila. Pwede mo ring, you need to cite also kung ano yung source ng organism ninyo, di ba? So, isusulat nyo din doon. Aside from babanggitin nyo siya una sa methodology, isa-cite nyo rin kung merong paraan or a different way of citing results from a third party, for example, yun nga, sequencing data. Gusto ng UP, kunyari sa kanya kayo nagpa-sequence is isinasite sila and mayroong paraan ng pagsasite. So, and also for the data collection is, uh, yeah, kung ano yung mga results ng bawat procedure. So, dapat guys, yung objectives ninyo ay tumugma sa gagawin ninyong methodology at tumugma sa results ng discussion and tumugma sa conclusion. Dapat masagot yung nasa objectives. Kasi yun yung magiging batayan ninyo kung na-fulfill niyo ba yung research eh. Di ba? Magsisimula kayo doon sa objectives na kailangan yung sagutin. So, dapat aligned siya doon sa methodology, sa data na na-collect, and doon sa conclusion. For the data analysis techniques used to interpret and make sense of the collected data, maybe statistics, thematic, kapag ka naman descriptive, di ba? So, it depends on the data collected or na-gather ninyo. Okay? So, syempre, sa methodology nga this semester is may preview na kayo. Alam nyo na yung gagamitin yung statistical tools. Number 9, findings and interpretations. And of course, kailangan isipin nyo rin, how can you present the data? Paano nyo ba siya ipipresent during the defense, di ba? Ano yung itsura ng PPT? Anong itsura ng mga graph ninyo? So, and these graphs or mga representations can help you present your findings. Pagka gumamit na kayo ng mga ganun, it can help you, ito pala yung 30% lang siya. Ang laki nung 70% na natira. And, ito, hindi siya significant. Ganito. Ito naman significant siya. Tapos, ah, yung amount ng inhibition, ganito pala. Based doon sa mga antibiotics na ginamit ko, siya lang naman yung ganito yung behavior. So, yung interpretation using tools and yung mga graphs and bar graphs or mga pie chart, mga ganon, or even yung phylogenetic tree, can help you interpret the results of your findings. Diba? And this, usually kasi kapag gumagawa ako ng PPT, lahat ng mga figures, ikikinaka-copy paste ko muna sa PPT. Sa ako siya ginagawa ng explanation. Diba? So, yung mga significant results should be stressed sa presentation ninyo. Of course, wala pa kayo dito sa part nito, but you are expecting that while doing the methodology or the first 3 chapters. And finally, conclusions and recommendations. So these are the different parts of a research. And ito naman yung kung journal format or yung article na napapublish na. Kasi meron bawat publishing company or yung mga journals ay merong required na format at saka mga number of words, mga ganyan. So, and kung paano yung formatting ng references. May iba-iba silang requirements. So, just in case na nandun na tayo sa part na yun, kapag sa defense ninyo, is you have to present this kind of journal format. So, merong title, may abstract, which is a brief summary of all the results and even yung methodology. Yan, may limit lang yun, 150 to 250 words. Baka naman hindi kayo sumunod dito, baka naman less than 150 or more than 250. Dapat ganito lang. Then you have to indicate the keywords. Of course, sa journal is sa paper or article, may introduction, literature review, a brief of that, hindi katulad sa manuscript nyo. And then, just in case, hopefully naman meron ditong topics na for publishing, di ba? Or for presentation sa ibang conferences, mga ganon, di ba? Student conferences. O, sana may mag-represent sa atin. Methodology, results, discussion, conclusion, references, and if needed yung appendices or kung meron kayong acknowledgement, short, brief acknowledgement, author's contribution, and then conflict of interest or of statement. So, anyways, this is a brief, a preview na lang naman. So, mag-focus tayo dito sa research paper, sa manuscript na gagawin. And for the article kapag ipapublish siya, usually is IMRAD siya. So, yung kaninang parts na to. yung MRAD plus yung conclusion and recommendation. So this format is universally used in different research journals for publications to simply synthesize the essential details of a research study. Siyempre, this version of a research article na ipapublish is shorter than the manuscript. Kasi yung manuscript nyo is makapal siya. Diba? And lahat ng details, lahat ng ginamit yung mga ilalagay nyo sa appendices, di ba? Lahat ng ginamit yung mga tables, graphs, mga raw data, pwede nyo ilagay. Sa dulo na lang yon. Hindi nyo kailangang i-present yung mga raw data sa defense na. So, lahat ng mga yon is nandun sa dulo, sa appendix, para meron tayong basihan kung gusto nating i-double check, di ba? Ay, ito parang may nagkamali ka dito. Pero dapat 2 zeros. Yan. So, i-double check nyo, nandun yung raw data. So, kung meron din kayong mga documentations like pictures, mga ganon, is sa manuscript sa dulo yon. For this article, ito lang is for publishing. Yung mga important lang. Okay, guide questions to formulate area of interest. So, syempre magsisimula tayo sa area of interest. What are the common problems, challenges, or concerns that you continuously observe in the teaching and iba pala to. This is just an example. This is for teaching kasi. Identify at least 5 problems, challenges, or concerns. In our case is i-correlate natin dito. Ano yung mga problems na nakikita niyo sa certain aspects ng mga ginagawa ninyo? For example, nag-interns na kayo, di ba? So, may na-observe kayo sa industry or sa hospitals or sa clinics. Or nung nag-aaral kayo, meron kayong question na gusto niyo hindi niyo masagot-sagot dati. So, ganun, dun kayo mag-evolve. And of course, some of you will be thinking, I want to be competitive. So, gusto ko medyo mahirap na konti. Or level up. Kailangan medyo may molecular biology or mga sequencing ganyan. Or medyo antibiotic resistant microorganisms which kailangan natin ng ethics. Diba? Okay, yun lang dumating. Okay. Kapag nagpo-formulate kayo ng interest ninyo, hindi kayo mag-focus sa isa lang. Magsusulat kayo ng ito at least 5, di ba? So, at least 5 or more, di ba? Kung 20 yung gusto nyo, then, kasi tinuro ko sa IQC nyo, di ba? Na about brainstorming. So, sa brainstorming, you have to ask idea or contributions from your members. Hindi lang kayo agad magde-decide sa isa agad topic based on the leader. Hindi. Kailangan kuhanan nyo sila ng idea nila or ng contribution nila. So, and then, isusulat nyo yon. So, dapat, lahat magbibigay. At least one, di ba? And then, saan nyo siya eliminate until makapag-come up kayo sa 5 until sa 1 na lang para makapag-focus kayo. What are the possible significances or long-term benefits when the above-mentioned problems, challenges, or concerns will be solved? So, kung meron kayong 5 problems, alam niyo na doon kung alin doon yung pinaka-importante or yung mas makakapag-benefit tayo. Baka naman, piliin niyo yung pinakamahirap pero wala naman tayong mabe-benefit. So, ano yung ang takeaway natin from these problems pag nasagot natin to? And of course, again, align pa rin siya doon sa interest ninyo, doon sa available equipments or mga resources, and yung mga mastery ninyo. Okay, align pa rin yun. So, syempre, magaling ako sa ganito sa IS. Ganyan. So, ito yung gusto ko. Yun, immunology ng ganyan. So, based on the above-mentioned problems, challenges, or concerns, in what way you think research can help to solve those problems and concerns? Ano ba yung parts na kailangan yung gawin in order to answer these problems? Okay, magdadagdag ako ng ganitong procedure kasi kailangan kong mapag-differentiate yung dalawa. Alin sa kanila ang mas magaling? Ito, alin dito so kailangan ko mag-isip ng way in order to solve that. And itong procedure ito yung kailangan kong gawin. Diba? Preliminary research and then it supplements yung previous.
Nag-prepare ko dyan ng slides on how to prepare title proposal for next week. Yung shinare ko sa'yo.
Apo. Okay. Thank you po, Dean. Hindi ito lang naman pinakita ko lang na at least meron na kayong isipin agad. Ngayon pa lang nag-isip na kayo kasi para habang nagtatalakay si Dean, baka nagsa-suggest na kayo sa isa't isa, 'di ba? Engaging and informative. Sa title pa lang, siyempre si Dean meron siyang guidelines for that. Sa title pa lang dapat ma-catch niyo yung attention ng ano. Meron kasing iba na sobrang ikli. Sayang naman kasi pwede mong i-mention yung, for example, yung methodology na ikaw lang yung gumawa or ikaw yung gumamit na kinorelate mo sa certain problem. So, pwede mo siya i-mention. And, yeah. And, meron din naman na sobrang haba na hindi naman kailangan gamitin yung ibang words, di ba? So, be concise. At least, indicate or include those keywords in your research na parang ang ganda. Kasi pag hinanap, kasi ang objective mo kasi is yung research mo, searchable siya. So kapag hinanap ko, antibiotic resistant, methicillin resistant Staphylococcus aureus. Pero meron ka pang gustong ilagay. So kapag yung dalawang keywords na yun ay nagsama, ang lalabas yung paper nyo, di ba? So ganun siya. So, and it should, pag title pa lang, alam mo na agad na ito yung ginawa niya. Di ba? Ito yung ginawa niya. Ito yung coverage din niya. Formula ng paggawa ng title. Okay? Merong direct to the point. Ayan. Main topic, tapos with colon, semicolon. Ano nga ba? Colon, semicolon. Colon. And then, specific focus or method. Katulad sabi ko, baka kayo lang yung gumamit nun, di ba? So, and then, kung saan nyo ginamit. Ayan. Gene expression patterns of this gene in the Filipino breast cancer patients, a quantitative PCR analysis. Di ba? Doon pa lang, sobrang ganda na agad. Alam ko na agad yung magiging resulta. Alam ko na agad yung methodology. Di ba? So, ganyan sana yung mga magiging title. Or, pwede naman combination siya ng artistic references ninyo. Echoes in genome. May mga ganun eh. Even sa Science or Nature, may ganito napapublish eh. Echoes in genome. Tracing emotional resilience through molecular signatures. Diba? Napaka-creative ng title niya. Pero nandun pa rin yung scientific basis. Diba? Yung term na genome. And then, resilience. Diba? And then, may molecular signatures. Diba? May ganyan eh, nakakatawa yung mga titles. Pero, scientific pa rin siya. And acceptable. And then, meron naman two-part title. Kasi meron siya yung pinagko-compare and contrast, mga ganyan. O, The Quiet Revolution, Exploring Diagnostic Shifts in Rural Health Systems. Diba? So, tingin kayo sa mga previous na mga titles na na-approve or na-publish. Siyempre, yung mga, iba na yung usapan ng mga journals eh. Pero yung mga research title natin or yung mga research to ng previous semesters, 'di ba? As a student, yun yung point of view ninyo. So, sana ganun umikot yung title ninyo and yung topic ninyo. So, ganun ka-creative mag-isip. Actually, I think I will end here. Ito yung mga references. So, thanks for listening.